It's grand opening time for all Renco. We're celebrating the opening of another of our rent-to-own name brand furniture stores here in town.
Call our new store at 942-2333 or stop by at 407 Valley Avenue Plaza, Birmingham.
No credit checks or long-term obligation. No large down payment. Just rent-to-own without a loan. All of our merchandise is brand new, just out of the boxes. So call today. Get it today.
You can rent what you need at All Brand & Co. The only way to go.
Wheel of Fortune today at 6:30. Next, the WBRC 6 News. Now, from Birmingham, the award-winning WBRC 6 News at 5. With Scott Richards, Janet Hall, Mike Royer, and Gil Tyree.
Good evening. There's been a change in plans for Calhoun County Family Court Judge James Sloan.
He will not be going back to work Monday morning. As we reported yesterday, Sloan's attorneys announced that the judge would return to the bench Monday, even though a new investigation had begun into his past sexual conduct. Remember, it was just 2 weeks ago that Sloan was acquitted of child molestation charges in Rhode Island. Shortly after yesterday's announcement, Calhoun County District Attorney Bob Field told reporters he has evidence linking Sloan to as many as 10 child sexual assaults over the last 20 years, and he will turn that evidence over to a judicial inquiry board. Well, today, Judge Sloan and his attorneys met with the State Director of Courts, Alan Tapley, who requested that Sloan not go back to work until these new allegations are resolved. Judge Sloan agreed. He will stay away from work but will continue to be paid. Sloan's attorney, Charles Parks, told me this afternoon that Sloan has nothing to hide and is prepared to go the last mile.
A Lee County jury has convicted Danny Lee Siebert of murdering a Talladega woman and her 2 young children. The case had been moved there because of extensive pretrial publicity. Brian Pia was in the courtroom when the verdict came down.
Daniel Lee Siebert guilty.
Siebert showed no emotion as the verdict was read, but the victim's mother, Barbara Harris, was relieved by the jury's decision. Guilty as charged.
Yes, I think he got what he deserved. Because those children didn't deserve that. My daughter didn't deserve that.
And the prosecutor wants Siebert to die in the electric chair.
You have to look at his past criminal history and what he's done before. Then you look at the facts of this particular case, and I think that if we have capital punishment as provided by the legislature and the laws of the state of Alabama, if there's ever an appropriate case for it, this in fact would be an appropriate case for it.
Jurors took about an hour and a half to deliberate. They found Siebert guilty of murdering a deaf woman, Sherry Weathers, and her 2 children in Talladega last year. He confessed to the killings, but pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. 2 others were murdered on the same day. Siebert was convicted 3 months ago for one of the killings. He will be tried for the 5th murder in a few months.
Police investigators say Siebert has confessed to 5 other murders in Alabama, California, and New Jersey, and 1 attempted murder in Baltimore, Maryland.
There's no word yet on whether he will be tried on those charges. In Opelika, Brian Pia, WBRC 6 News.
Siebert will be taken to Holman Prison tonight. He'll be held there until his next trial. The verdict is also guilty today for Aloysius Gardner, the final suspect in last year's murder of Inslee Grill manager Nathan Madison. Gardner was convicted today and sentenced to life without parole for his part in the robbery and killing. Prosecutors say Gardner was the lookout during the robbery.
There's a report today that a second Morgan County businessman was approached with an offer of murder for hire. 2 Morgan County deputies are already in jail, charged in a separate murder for hire scheme. The Huntsville Times says this offer to kill someone was made to Dan Kennedy of Danville by Decatur policeman Tom Little. Little has been identified as an informant in the case involving the 2 deputies. There's been no comment from Little himself. Alabama is one step closer to a marital rape bill. We told you yesterday that there was a disagreement brewing because one senator wanted the bill limited to cases where couples are separated. Well, that amendment was killed today, and the Senate went ahead and passed the bill, making it a crime for a husband to rape his wife. The marital rape bill is now up for debate in the House.
On the heels of complaints about new food stamp monthly reporting requirements, one local group is trying to offer some relief. A Jefferson County group called Direct Services Network is putting a core of volunteers together to help with the problem. As Cynthia Pryor reports, in many cases, it could mean the difference between families eating and going hungry.
Both Paralee Irons and Elizabeth Leonard have had it up to here with the new Food Stamp Monthly reporting requirements. Both have made mistakes on the forms, and as a result, they've had to go without food until they fill the forms out right.
You have to wait till you hear from them, get a letter from them.
Before what?
Before you receive a stamp.
Can that cause a problem?
Yes, it can.
Tell me how.
Well, so like after you done paid your bills, your rent, and all this, and money get a little low,
they'll send it back to you. They'll look over it, and they'll send it back to you. They'll circle it around with a reg mark, and where they circle the reg mark, that's the information that you done put down wrong.
To put an end to this kind of confusion, the Direct Service Network, a coalition of social activists, is putting together a volunteer group. The group will set up sites around the county where people can come in and get help filling out the complicated form.
Our purpose, simply put, is to ensure that those who legitimately qualify for food stamps continue to receive this vital assistance. Without this volunteer effort, we fear that many family stamps will be delayed or denied.
A number of food stamp recipients applaud the new volunteer system. In fact, many say it could mean the difference between eating and not eating while waiting for the incorrect forms to be corrected. Cynthia Pryor, WBRC 6 News.
If you need more information about the new volunteer service, or if you want to sign up to help, you should call the Birmingham Jewish Federation at 879-0416. Right now, we'll get a first check on today's weather. Nice, isn't it, Mike?
It's been fairly busy to our south this afternoon, Scott, with some pretty good thunder showers. In fact, earlier this afternoon, the National Weather Service in Montgomery issued warnings for Elmore, Autauga, and Montgomery County. You can see they still have some fairly heavy thunderstorms. In fact, parts of Montgomery over an inch of rain in a short period of time. Some tree and power line damage there as well. We'll talk about that, show you which direction the rain is moving, and tell you what you can expect for the rest of the week and the weekend, too. We'll have it shortly. Janet?
Thank you, Mike. Here are the top stories from outside Alabama. Still no word on the fate of ABC correspondent Charles Glass. He was kidnapped in Beirut yesterday. Glass, you'll remember, made a name for himself with dramatic interviews of the pilot of that hijacked TWA airliner 2 years ago. The congressional committees looking into the Iran-Contra affair have had a change of heart. Spokesmen now say Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North must testify in private. He wanted to testify only in public, but committee members say North cannot dictate their strategy for them. When we come back, why a bill to allow Sunday horse racing in Birmingham is all but dead for this session of the legislature.
And presidential candidate Pat Robertson appears before the legislature in Montgomery.
Drop in now to Rich's Aquarium Swimsuit Sale.
It starts here.
The gigantic Toyota sale last weekend was so good, and the distributors were so impressed that they sent truckload after truckload into Birmingham for this weekend's sale. We sold out of some of the popular models, but they have been restocked. They're here now at Toyota, Alabama. Get a minimum $2,500 for your trade-in toward the purchase of any new Toyota truck. Get $2,000 cash rebates. Plus, we have over 30 special company demonstrators at $500 below cost. Free gifts just for attending the Toyota Blowout through Sunday only at Toyota, Alabama, Parkway East in Roebuck.
Hello, I'm Eddie Arnold. If you feel you can't afford coverage to pay for expenses not covered by Medicare, you need to know about Elder Care Plus. For as little as $19.50 a month, Elder Care Plus provides more coverage than C Plus with the added benefits of an HMO. And with Elder Care Plus, there are no claim forms or bills. Get the real plus in health care coverage. Call now for more information on Elder Care Plus.
Sunday horse racing is dead, at least for the time being. That's because the Jefferson County House delegation voted today to indefinitely postpone action on the bill. 2 black representatives voted with the majority, saying they were tired of taking the blame for the so-called sin bills.
While it may be well to put it before a vote of the people, I think that the majority of the black delegations just simply felt that while excuses are made for other members of our delegation, they expect us to run with the sin bills, and we're just serving notice that we're no longer going to be used like that.
The sponsor of the Sunday racing bill isn't giving up yet. Representative John Rogers introduced another bill today that calls for a countywide vote on the issue. A public hearing on that bill will be held Monday night.
The Senate passed a bill today that will affect deer hunters. That bill would require deer hunters on public lands to wear 500 square inches of bright orange material. Right now, the law requires only 144 square inches. That's about the size of a hat. The bill now goes to the House. Republican presidential hopeful Pat Robertson spoke to a joint session of the legislature this morning. The chambers were full, but not with legislators. There were only about a dozen lawmakers there. The rest were supporters and interested bystanders. Robertson's speech focused on the need for a strong military and a better international image for the U.S. Afterwards, at a news conference, Robertson said his fundraising has not been hurt by the PTL scandal. He also had this to say about the separation of church and state.
The Supreme Court itself opens its sessions every morning with a prayer, God bless this honorable court. And the Congress of the United States opens their deliberations with a prayer by a paid chaplain. So I would certainly see that institutions such as this would be continued. What I would like to do, however, is also see that little children in school have the same rights as congressmen and Supreme Court justices.
Robertson met briefly with Governor Hunt after the news conference. He then went to a $15 a plate fundraiser. Robertson is expected to officially announce whether or not he'll run for president by September.
Still ahead on the news, a Babyface's report about how to cope with some of a child's common fears.
And next, meteorologist Mike Royer from the Weather Center. It's another busy day with thunderstorms all around us.
The Road Shop is having a parking lot sale. Saturday only, 9 to 5. Savings up to 70%. Don't miss it. Come early for best selections.
The Road Shop. It's a fact. Handy TV appliance saves you money. With more top brands to select from and savings everywhere, you'll find exactly what you want because it's all right there. With service you can count on, we keep it handy too, and our convenient locations make it easy for you. Handy TV appliance saves you money. It's a fact.
Tired of throwing money away trying to kill fire ant mounds that keep coming back? Then kick the bucket and get Amdro insecticide. Amdro, the easy-to-apply fire ant killer the ants use as food and feed to the queen. And when the queen dies, the mound dies. So kick the bucket and get Amdro, the proven fire ant killer. And now for roaches, get new Amdro roach control stations.
New Ideal's 3rd annual warehouse clearance sale continues. With further price reductions, save up to 75%, 85%, and more. New Ideal downtown.
With the heat we had today and the high humidity, you didn't even have to be a meteorologist to have a pretty good feeling that there was some turbulence out there.
The old
somewhere.
Textbook thing of putting a pan of water on the stove and turning it up and watch what happens. That's exactly what's been going on today. Montgomery pretty hard hit with some apparently minor damage. Don't know for sure yet.
Nobody hurt.
No one hurt. Do you know what a telemetry tower is? A 50-foot telemetry tower was snapped off. I don't know either.
Oh,
I'm
I thought you were going to tell me.
I was just on my wire a moment ago saying a 50-foot telemetry tower of a radio station.
Some type of information. Yeah. Well,
there you go. You know more than I do then about that. But anyway, it broke off, so the winds have been whipping around pretty good down in Montgomery. Tree and power line damage is the only thing that has been reported so far, but they've had some very gusty winds, very heavy rain. That is the case right now. We'll show you on the radar in a little while. Up around Logan Martin Lake now, very heavy rain there too. Again, we'll show it to you in just a moment. Let's take a look at our numbers for the day. Our high temperature 85 degrees, low this morning 71. Record high 99, record low 56. Sunset time this evening at 7:59. It's 84 degrees now, humidity 63%, wind from the south at 12, and the barometer's at 30.03 inches. It's falling very slowly. Scattered showers around. We have some slightly cooler temperatures in a few places. Let's check out temperatures in Alabama. It's dropped to 82 degrees here now, 88 in Tuscaloosa, 84 up the road in Jasper. Notice the cooler temperatures to the south. There's been rain there most of the afternoon, very little sunshine. Montgomery, the heaviest rainfall. Clouds heavier to the south as well, with a few spotty clouds around other parts of Alabama, with some scattered very heavy thunderstorms in this cloud area just to the east now of us over in Pell City, right along Logan Martin Lake. Very heavy rain there. All of that moving to the north as we cool down. It should dissipate for the most part down to widely scattered showers this evening, but we still have some pretty good rain out there. There's a weak stationary front coming out of the Atlantic Ocean over through Kentucky. That stationary front causing that cloudiness. Ours is just the moisture and heat and unstable air mass causing the showers and thunder showers in our area, and it's going to stay that way. We're waiting for a nice cold front to come through, cool us down, and sort of wash our system out, but that's not happening anytime soon. Showers and thunder showers fairly heavy back in Arkansas, parts of Missouri, and along the Kansas-Nebraska border tonight as well. Let's look at our radar now, live on the 150-mile scan, stretching from Montgomery right up into southern Shelby County. Pretty good thunderstorms in that area. They are weaker than they were about an hour ago. We have some fairly heavy thunderstorms now moving into Greene, western Tuscaloosa, and Pickens County to the west. So there's plenty to keep an eye on, and we'll do that for you this evening. Here's our forecast. Scattered showers and thunder showers, obviously likely now. That's brilliant, but 40% overnight. Low temperature down to 70. Then tomorrow, scattered showers and thunder showers, 50% rain chance, 85 the high. Same thing as today. Carbon copy day, 70 the low tomorrow night. On Saturday, the rain chances still 40 to 50% with a high of 88. A little bit warmer on Saturday. Gulf Coast forecast, we've had a lot of folks asking about it. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy on Friday, then partly cloudy over the weekend with scattered afternoon showers, upper 80s and low 90s for daytime highs. So as we cool down, these showers should diminish. We'll keep an eye on them.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Later in the news, a man who is happy to have you walk on his work.
Next, some of your baby's common fears and how to handle them.
Should your name be on this envelope? It should be. If you or someone you love is age 50 to 80, and it will be addressed to you if you call now for the important information in this envelope. Free information that tells you how easy it is to get valuable life insurance protection with a whole life policy that is designed especially for men and women age 50 to 80. If you meet that age requirement, you are guaranteed this protection because there's no physical examination and no medical questions. You cannot be turned down, regardless of your health. Your premium will be $6.95 a month and will never increase. And as you grow older, your benefits will never decrease. Some other policies designed for mature people actually reduce your benefits as you grow older. You may continue to pay their same premium, but they give you less and less coverage. So don't be fooled. Be careful. Go ahead and compare Colonial Penn with other companies. So get ready to make that important telephone call right now. If you call now, Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company will send you the important information in this envelope. And it's free. So if you are age 50 to 80, shouldn't you join the millions of people who have already called for this offer? Shouldn't you call now? Here's the number.
Call 1-800-228-3303 for free information in the mail about the life insurance Ed McMahon spoke about. The information is free and the call is free. So call now. 1-800-228-3303. 1-800-228-3303. That's 1-800-228-3303.
Babies don't have a care in the world, or at least that's the way it seems to many of us. But even though all of a baby's needs are taken care of by someone else, they still have fears. In today's Baby Faces report, Dr. Ray Coleman examines some of these common fears and what parents can do about them.
Just last month, Britton would go to just about anybody who offered to pick her up. But now she clings to her folks and sometimes even refuses to smile at her grandparents. While this might be tough for Grandma and Grandpa to accept, it's perfectly normal. Around 5 to 8 months of age, baby begins to notice more of the world and actually starts exploring it. However, this new sense of adventure is usually accompanied with fears and tears. Familiar faces or sudden loud noises, even ones the baby's heard before, can start the little one crying. The noise of a vacuum cleaner, a clap of thunder, a car door closing can bring on screams. Be reassuring. If the noisy sweeper upsets the baby, pick the child up and talk quietly. Don't turn the noise off. Move the sweeper back and forth as you hold the baby to associate the noise and reassurance. Comfort the baby and let your little one know the frightening moment is over and you're still close. Baby's sudden fear of people or shyness can be even more trying. Visiting the doctor or leaving the baby with a trusted sitter may almost seem impossible. Just try to remember that as baby grows, there will be a lot of stages, and this one, like all the others, is temporary. Grandparents need to understand that this sudden shyness isn't a fear or dislike of them. They need to be patient. Britton's fear will soon pass. I'm Dr. Ray Coleman. Join me again when we look at other baby faces.
If you'd like more prenatal or child care information, talk it over with your doctor or check with the folks at the Brookwood Women's Medical Center. That number is 877-2678. Next week, Dr. Coleman will talk about saying no to your baby.
I got to see that one. It's about that time. Only it's no.
No.
Yeah. Lots of golf next in sports. The U.S. Open is underway in windy San Francisco.
And you'll meet a Birmingham man who's about to wind up a golf marathon.
Ray and Tommy Owen, owners of Alabama Wholesale Jewelry in Center Point, have always given you the lowest prices in Alabama. But now you can save even more because Ray is leaving to open his own business, and they must sacrifice the entire $2 million inventory to settle the partnership. Yes, everything is on special sale and must be sold and settled. Come early for the best selection and save as never before at Alabama Wholesale Jewelry, 2021 Center Point Road.
The time is now. The savings spectacular. And the place, Circuit City. Save now on your choice of a Frigidaire Deluxe 18 cubic foot refrigerator or a Whirlpool side-by-side refrigerator freezer. Just $588.97 each. This Sharp VCR with wireless remote is only $228.97 during the City Sale at Circuit City. The intelligent choice.
Sargent's has done a remarkable thing. At Sargent's, we put ourselves in your dog's place. Suppose we had the fleas, the itching, the scratching. We'd want relief fast, so we developed the Sargent's double-layer flea and tick collar.
Only the Sargent's collar kills fleas and ticks 2 ways. One layer kills fast, like a spray. The other keeps killing for months, like a powder.
Get your pet Sargent's double-layer flea and tick collar. He'd do it for you.
You can shop for a sporty car until you're blue in the face and never find better buys than at Birmingham's Big Four Nissan dealers this weekend. We're selling our Nissan Pulsar NX at $1,400 less than Toyota MR2. Our Nissan 300CX is over $1,600 less than Toyota Supra. We'll even sell a Nissan Pathfinder at $470 less than Toyota's 4Runner. Why shop till you're blue in the face? This weekend, save more at Crown Nissan, Hoover, Dixie Nissan, Bessemer, Jim Burt Nissan, Downtown, or Sarah Nissan, Center Point.
Well, golf is the sport making news today, both nationally and locally.
That's right. You have the U.S. Open out in San Francisco, and you got a guy playing from dawn to dusk, and he's going to play in the rain, Janet. We start off with the first round of the U.S. Open, Real American Test being held at the Olympic Club out in San Francisco. We got some pictures for you. First round leader is Ben Crenshaw. You're looking at him front and center. Texas known for his putting. Watch this one go. This will save par at 16. And watch it break left and break right. And for 3 under, he's at 67, and he's going crazy. Right on his heels is a Spaniard, Severiano Ballesteros, off the fringe, the chip here at 14. He's in at 2 under 68. It'll drop, but I got one even better for you. Johnny Miller here at 16, off the fringe. Now watch this one. This will drop 2, and Mr. Miller is 2 under through 16. We'll watch it drop, and let's go on to the leaderboard and check out the first round. You see Crenshaw in at -3, Ballesteros -2, Miller is -2 through 16, Mark Calcavecchia 2 under through 3, And Andy North, a former champion, 1 under through 2. Jack Nicklaus, Greg Norman, Shoal Creek, Schubert Green among those late starting. We'll have complete scores and more highlights at 10 p.m. Out at Inverness today, assistant pro B.G. Simmons is having his own open. He's been playing golf from dawn to dusk. Simmons is trying to raise money for cystic fibrosis. He's playing a marathon today.
I'm trying to play 12 hours of golf here today and see how much I can raise. If the weather holds up, we can get maybe 6 or 7 rounds in. I've been lucky. The weather this morning was a little wet and a little rainy, so it didn't bring out a lot of golfers, and I just had to play through about 2 or 3 groups so far, so it's been good.
It's still raining, and he's still playing. The Philadelphia Phillies are struggling. Today made a change, fired manager John Felski. He will be replaced by third base coach Lee Ilya. Ilya will manage the club until the end of the year, that according to Phil's president Bill Giles. Well, if you're one who has dreams to be a baseball star, 25, 30 guys were trying to live out that dream today out at Berry High School. Pittsburgh Pirates holding a tryout camp, put these guys through various drills to see if they had the major league stuff.
Players need to get exposure, there's no doubt about that, and I use what I call the 5 shuns. The first one's concentration, the second one's ambition, the third one is repetition and dedication, and the final one is the most important, is perspiration, because once you get where you're going, you have to work just as hard to stay there.
More from the what else category. Former Auburn star and present Indiana Pacer Chuck Person is the subject of a lawsuit. Person's being sued by Freeland Abbott Jr. of Bessemer for $250,000. Now, suit alleges that Person breached a contract with him, and Person, the NBA Rookie of the Year, currently playing in the Birmingham Summer League. Again, the U.S. Open, Crenshaw on top of the leaderboard, 67 today. Severiano Ballesteros right behind him at 68, and a plethora of guys still playing till about 9 o'clock tonight, along with B.G. Simmons.
Plethora, more than one. Some great chipping out there today. We saw in those highlights.
You learn anything?
I wish.
Yeah. Thanks, Gil. Next, the story of a man who really puts some soul into his work.
He's a craftsman who can make you the best fitting pair of shoes you've ever had. But there is a price.
Bargaintown has sizzling prices on novelty t-shirts for guys, just $2.22 for men and $1.66 for boys at Bargaintown with sizzling summer savings.
A long Lewis closeout sale on all used 86 and 87.
With 8.9% APR financing for 36 months, 9.9 for 48.
86 Tempo GLs, low mileage, extra clean with factory air, automatic transmission, power steering and brakes, AM/FM stereo, and more, only $79.90.
Elan and Sport T-Birds, Escort GTs, Lincoln Town Cars, Cougars, F-150s and Rangers, Crown Vics, 8.9 and 9.9 financing.
Only $99 down with approved credit. Special prices and financing in soon.
At Long Lewis Ford with no fine print.
Heard the weatherman say it's gonna be a scorcher, and I was on my way.
Do you know how long I've been trying to get close to Mary Harding? Thank you, Bermuda Triangle.
I just got to thinking, I haven't spent enough time with my kids lately.
Yesterday, I bought this great-looking bikini, and well, you know. Finally got tired of this 10-year-old taking root on the couch. So off went the TV, on went the bathing suits.
There's only one Whitewater.
Located in Atlanta, Georgia.
Foot Brothers Carpet World, your #1 carpet dealer, now has Salem Stainmaster Carpet for only $8.88. Salem Stainmaster, only $8.88. Foot Brothers Carpet World in Anniston, Gadsden, and Albertville.
You know the expression, you get what you pay for. Well, what do you think you'd get if you paid several $100s for a pair of shoes? Certainly, you'd expect them to fit exceptionally well, and you might expect them to be made by Dominic DiMiola, one of the few remaining master craftsmen of handmade shoes in the U.S. Michael Jones watched him in action today.
For more than half a century, Dominic DiMiola has been hand-making shoes, a craft he learned as a child from his father in Italy. Today, DiMiola travels the country demonstrating his craft for Johnston & Murphy Shoes, the company he's worked for 41 years. And during those years, DiMiola has made shoes for several U.S. presidents.
John F. Kennedy, and this one is Lyndon Johnson. This one is Gerald Ford. This one, you see the name is inside, it's Jimmy Carter.
As well as many sports and entertainment celebrities.
Golf shoes are for Arnold Palmer, and I made it for Liberace. I made it for David Letterman. I made it for Jackie Gleason, Frank Sinatra, Eva Knievel, make a lot of those movie stars.
Now, who had the strangest foot of all the people you've made shoes for?
The most, you know, you can see this one in here is pigeon toe. You see the way it is. And it's for the, you see his name inside, it's President Lyndon Johnson. And he was really particular and real unusual food.
Demiola can make shoes in every style and size. Now, if you're interested in having him custom make a pair for you, be prepared to shell out some money, starting at $650. Michael Jones, WBRC 6 News.
At that price, those are the kind of shoes you get resold more than once.
Over and over. Again, our top story this evening, Anniston Family Court Judge James Sloan says he will not return to work on Monday as he had planned.
The delay was agreed to so charges of past sexual conduct could be investigated. Sloan was cleared of child molesting charges in Rhode Island 2 weeks ago.
Local news continues at 6 with Joe Langston. Joe, what's ahead?
Well, Tuscaloosa Bureau Chief Dan Cates will have a report on a crackdown in the Druid City on bars that sell alcoholic beverages to minors. One bar was closed and some arrests were made in raids last night. On Health Beat, Joyce Ebker will tell us about a support group for parents who have children who suffer with autism. And Michael Jones will introduce us to a man who travels across the country keeping one of our original art forms alive, Hillbilly Blues. Scott.
Thank you, Joe. That's our first report of local news for now. World News Tonight is next, and Joe will be back here at 6.
We hope you'll join us at 10 for a fresh report of the night's news, sports, and weather. Thanks for watching.